Okay, the shuffling method that we're about to put in the deck class is challenging, and that's why it's broken up into not just 2 days, but 2 activities. This current activity 3 just introduces ways that we could possibly shuffle. Like I showed you in class today, the perfect shuffle is a real life way that you shuffle cards. You cut a deck in half and you interleave the cards in the two halves together. The top half goes in between the cards and the bottom half, or vice versa. And that's what this perfect shuffle on this page here, page 8 of the PDF, shows us. Now, the directions here cannot be followed exactly because not all decks have 52 cards. For example, the deck in this shuffler class has what? It has it has only 4 cards, right? Values only has 4 cards. So there's no way you can go up to spot 25 or 26 to 51. So we'll have to figure out some algebra to put in our loops instead. So anyway, we'll take it as literally as possible though. Okay. Shuffled is going to be our temporary deck. Okay. And then at the end, I think we're going to put all the cards in shuffled into values. Okay. You will see that in a minute. So initialize shuffle to contain 52 empty elements. Now, a better name for shuffled might be temp, because this is, after all, just a temporary array. We make this shuffled array, and then we shuffle the cards from values into shuffled, okay? And then we copy everything from shuffled into values. Okay, that copy recall is very tricky for kids across the country. You just can't do this. You can't say values equals shuffled at the end. Okay? You can't say that. I do it once in a great while and forget that too, but passing by reference, if we now say values equals shuffled, we're changing what values points at in memory. It was pointing to this array up here, values 2 or values 1, and now it's no longer pointing to those guys, it's pointing to shuffled. So we can't do that. We'll have to do a loop that goes through them. I know I'm getting ahead of myself, but it is so important and so tricky for kids across the country. It's a common mistake the College Board tells us frequently. So I less than shuffle dot length. So we say not values equals shuffled, but values of I equals shuffled of I. Okay, again, that's the last part. I'm getting way ahead of myself, but I just can't wait to emphasize that, and the College Board can't wait to trick you on that on the AP exam. Okay, let's go back to our directions. We're going to set K to 0. And a little loop. Again, now we can't go up to 25, and we can't even set this to 52, can we? Instead, what we got to do is set it to the length of values. So values dot length. And then what is 25? 25 is just less than half of the length. So j less than values dot length over 2. J plus plus. So copy shuffled of k equals values of j. And k plus equals 2 if I'm reading the directions correctly. Good. K goes back to 1. And now we can't go from 26 because it might be a size 4 or 5 array. So what is 26 of 52? That's half, right? So we'll start at the halfway point with what, j? Go up to 51 would be less than length, right? The length of 52, so less than length. And j plus plus. Okay. What did I forget? Any parentheses? Let's see. Cards. Oh, it's not called cards, it's called values, right? So values. Okay, anything else? Good. Again, a better name for shuffled might be temp, right? So it'd probably be smart, especially on the AP exam or quiz, to call it temp. That would make more sense to you and keep things straight a little better, right? I think. Okay, let's see if we can run this thing. The array is 0, 1, 2, 3. So if you cut them in half, you're going to put probably the 2 between the 0 and the 1, right? And I guess the 3 after. Is that going to be what we would do? Let's see here. Shuffler. Yeah, the 2 between the 0 and the 1 and the 3 after the 1. Okay. This is not, we didn't do this code here yet, so it's not done.